Hi, my name is Jenny Burrell of Burrell Education, and thanks so much for visiting the website and stopping by at this page. So I guess you are interested in optimal nutrition for postnatal recovery and healing. And in this certification, it's accredited by NASM globally. I'm joined by my friend, my colleague and my mentor, Jessica Drummond of the Integrative Pelvic Health Institute. And this certification has 4 modules, and these 4 modules really go deep in helping you understand what's gone on with your postnatal client in terms of birthing and tissue trauma during birthing into the postnatal period, and how you can help her understand what it takes to restore and recover well. So there's no crazy pills and potions that we're talking about here. This is all about the consumption of real food. Just eat real food. It's the biochemistry, the simple biochemistry of food and what it does in the body, and which foods contain what you need to heal. And it's quite, well, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So I'm hoping that if you serve postnatal women and you really want to take your business and your work and your results with those women to the next level, you'll take a look at the full content below this video, and you will join us in the cyberspace classroom very, very soon. So doors are either opening or they're open, and we'd love to see you. You view the contents through a membership site, so once you have paid for your place, you'll then send your login details, and then each module comes live every single month. There's an exam at the end which you need to take for certification, and ultimately we help you and we support you daily. There's a Facebook support group as well that you can access and be part of, and in that group I think there's over 100 students now who have done the course or who are currently completing the course. So you're not alone, you have access forever, the content doesn't go away, you don't need to finish it just within the 4 months, you know, you can take as long as you need, but I'll be on your case so that to ensure you finish. So please take a look at the full contents, let me know what you think, drop me a message, and I look forward to seeing you soon in the cyberspace classroom, and until then, take care, bye bye. As the title says, I think I changed it from what's on the programme and on now. So, but redefining optimal nutrition for the postnatal client. And actually, in light of what we've been talking about today, the postnatal client, the post-hysterectomy client, anybody recovering from gynae surgeries, anybody who wants to take care of their pelvic health, you know, I think this is actually stuff for every woman. Every woman. Oh, let me just... As it's being videoed. Right, okay. So... I can't see. I know. Where am I going? Okay, this isn't moving.
Is it... Here.
Will anyone work?
Does you have the USB hub?
Underneath there. Oh, and will it still work?
Let's turn it on.
Oh. Oh yes, gone. Yeah, yep. But will it carry on playing even though it's not in there?
Francie?
Okay, thank you. I have done this before, you know. Okay, so nutrition. What is nutrition? For me, nutrition is anything that takes us towards health and well-being. So it's not necessarily food, but it's also about your environment, your home environment, being nourished by your good relationships with your partners and your family, being nourished by having great contact with nature, being nourished, as I said, food and hydration, being nourished by having some kind of like a spiritual a connection. You know, anything that makes you feel good is nourishment, apart from shoes. And actually, maybe that is nourishment, because, you know, I once had a row with somebody on Facebook because they talked about not wearing high-heeled shoes. And for me, you know, I feel fab in shoes. So actually, it's nourishment to me, because it makes me feel great. Anyway, so birthing is a major surgery trauma life event in the lifetime of our bodies. And, you know, becoming a mom, it's a transitional phase. We all know that it's full of highs and lows, and for some people more lows than highs at some points. You know, a woman's asked to cope with an amazing amount of responsibility these days. And I'll come to later what happened when I went to Malaysia and what I witnessed there, which was just like, it made me just feel like such a dumbo going there and talking about optimal nutrition for postnatal recovery. You know, it was like, yeah. So we'll come to that. So we've got all the traumas, all the things that Michelle and Maria have been talking about today. And let me just find the point. Oops. Yeah, there we are. And then wound healing. I don't think that people consider the postnatal period a time when you're healing wounds. And it's a hypermetabolic state. Your body needs more of the good stuff for you to recover than it does when you are not recovering from trauma. And you know, what an amazing thought that in that postnatal period you should be literally just holding yourself like you have never held yourself in your whole life, and you should be supported by your family and close and relatives and all this kind of stuff, so that you have the capacity to honour your body's wisdom and heal, as opposed to going gym at 6 weeks postnatal. Yeah. I'm going, anyway, we'll come to this afterwards. So one of the key things, and I know that in my work with Borough Education and with my licensees, the Fufu Fun Club ambassadors, you know, we have a pelvic, a core restore program, you know, that pre-screening is flipping deep and wide. And the stuff that we pull out from those pre-screenings is astonishing. And I think this is another thing, you know, in the life of you know, gym instructors, we have some gyms that literally the PARQ, the pre-screening, there's not even a different one for postnatal anyway, but it's literally this big, and it says basically, I said I was well. If anything bad happens to me in this building, it's my fault. Sign. And that's just not good enough. That really isn't good enough. So a big, massive pre-screening. I have on my website a download. You can have a postnatal pre-screen, of course. Now, redefining postnatal nutrition, as I said, food, water, the macro and micronutrients, soul nutrition, rest, stillness, spirituality, connection with nature, community, communication, connection, guidance, education. We've said already how important it is, our role as working with women. You know, just because you've had a baby come out of your pelvic floor doesn't mean to say you even know anything about it at all. And we shouldn't take that for granted, that women know their anatomy, they know stuff about their hormones. Most women do not. And so one of our biggest jobs is education. And then reassurance. Jane was saying that for many women, they come with lots of preconceptions. Maybe they've been consulting Dr. Google a bit too much, and then they come. Then actually, one of the key jobs is to reassure people through factual information. Then this here, I'm so outrageously passionate about soft tissue therapy and the nutrition of touch. The nutrition of touch. This is somewhere where, I mean, the physios have it. I believe you lay your hands on people, but in fitness, sometimes we haven't made that journey to get those soft tissue and therapy skills under our belt so that we can better complete the circle of care. If you are not touching people, if you are not helping people to realign, then we are putting exercise onto a wonky frame. As Diane Lee said, you cannot shut the door in a wonky frame. You can't. And this is, for me, one of the biggest missing links. And also, you know what? When we start touching people, what we are doing with them is transformational. And I would recommend to anyone, you know, I've been doing fitness for 16 years, and I've been massaging for more than half of that, and remedial therapy, and now teaching it as well. And for me, the second I started touching people and changing tissue, that's when my work just transformed. Then internal, external, environmental factors, the gut health, this is something we are not talking about. I've spent a whole year, as Brianne, my classmate, and we have been studying with Jessica Drummond. Anybody else doing that course?
I just signed up.
Oh, did you? Oh my God, you're gonna, this time next year, you're gonna be bonkers. You just, yeah, it's amazing. It's one of the best money I've ever spent. Yeah, it's amazing.
Sorry, what's the course doing? What course? What is your course? Some women's health.
Women's health and nutrition certificate. It's
Women's health.
Yeah,
women's health.
We're a women's health and nutrition certification.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can message you it, sorry. We should know. Okay, so we'll come to this afterwards. Okay, so towards healing, anti-inflammatory, you know, generally anti-inflammatory. I'm not going to go through those because these are the slides coming afterwards. But the most important thing here, there are plenty of difficult obstacles in your path. Do not allow yourself to be one of them. We're going to have so much more of this tomorrow. So much more of this tomorrow. But this is huge in terms of, you know, are you taking enough calories, protein, water, etc. So let's just move that on. So let's go into here. Vitamins. Vitamin C works with the amino acids, so we know that the amino acids are the building blocks of protein, and we know that collagen requires collagen rebuilding requires an adequate intake of protein. Are your clients getting enough protein?
Hi, my name's Kimberly Carner, and I have a company called Healthy Beginnings Fitness, located in Somerset, and I specialise in pre and postnatal fitness. I've just completed the Optimal Nutrition for Postnatal Recovery course with Jenny Burrell Education, and really recommend the course. As you can see, I've got a little baby, this is Maggie, and I've got a 2-year-old asleep upstairs, so really busy household, and that's the first thing I look for whenever I'm wanting to do any further study. I always think, can I fit it around my family? And I really enjoyed the online nature of the course. It worked really well for me. I liked the fact that there was no pressure to do the exam on a certain date, so I could do the modules when I needed to, or when I could fit it around the baby. So I'd often sit here feeding and then have my laptop open listening to the lectures, and I really enjoyed that. It also was something really interesting to listen to actually while I was sat here for hours feeding, rather than just having daytime TV on. So yeah, it's really interesting for new mums, even if you're not in the profession of pre and postnatal fitness. Second thing I look for when I'm wanting to do any further study is kind of how in depth the course is going to go. My background before I started my company I used to be a lecturer in anatomy and physiology, so I'm really passionate about that subject, and because I come from a science background, I've kind of had it drilled into me that everything has to have a study or a reference to back it up, and I really did feel like there was a lot of that on this course. Actually, there was loads of references that you could go and look up, and loads of further study and stuff that you could go on and read if you wanted to. So that's really good. In terms of how I'm going to use the knowledge with my clients, I'm on maternity leave at the moment, but I've already started developing a couple of new programs that I'm going to use this course for. So that's exciting. And one thing that I found really useful was I sat there with my health questionnaire, which is, one of the first things that you go through with any new client. And I sat there with mine open and I went through all of the lectures and I just tweaked my health questionnaire, adding new questions in. Jenny would say things on the videos like, and that's something that we should really be asking on our health questionnaire. I think, yes, that is actually, why have I not asked that before? So there was a few kind of light bulb moments, which was really useful. And now I feel like it's really kind of a bit more professional, and I've got it chunked up into sections. So I've got like one section on abdominal and pelvic health and gut health, etc. So I feel like, seeing as that's the first thing that my clients will really go into with me, I think that will hopefully let them know that I really care and that it's, I want to go really in depth with the knowledge with them, so I can offer the best service possible. So that's how I'm going to use this knowledge practically with my clients. So yeah, just to summarise, I think it's been a fab course, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Thank you. Say goodbye. Bye bye.